Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast. With me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1v1 on Minsk Pocket. Between the south, we got the charmingly named Knockers, fighting here for the Commonwealth. For the Guards Armored Divisions versus in the north, we got HQMul fighting here for the Wehrmacht. Deutschland, das Reich hier with Ostrom Doctrine immediately chosen right off the bat. Fighting here for the 72nd Infanterie Division with Ostrom and MD42 still on the field. Whereas for Knockers, we just got a few sections there sort of moving out. Not quite the same speedy and aggressive approach, at least not for now. And HQMul, I imagine, will be adding in a bunch more Ostrom on the field pretty rapidly. Doctrinally, we've got here for Knockers, special weapons, Royal Engineers, and attached support. Bulletin-wise, we've got armoured car bulletins, MGs, and infantry and tank. So, a bit of a difference there between the two sides. Vickers there for Knockers, more Ostrom for HQMul. Focusing towards the centre and the right-hand side. British sort of doing the same. No one sort of really putting any attention, at least for the time being, into the western part of the map. Is that going straight for the enemy fuel point? Looks like Knockers is gonna be caught a bit unprepared by that. Of course, you should be able to get the Vickers up soon enough to help protect the fuel point there. But there you go, first engagement. Some poor soul drops it there. And before two Pioneers moving up. Vickers, bit removed there, bit removed. And there we go, section might probably end up being suppressed here soon enough, and there we go. Pioneers taking minor losses, Ostrom moving towards the east. Section over in the east needs to get moving as well. And there you go, Vickers machine gun setting up and up with the Pioneers, quick suppressing them in return, but the section here needs to retreat, overall just wasting manpower and also feeding the enemy experience. They're not a lot at the moment. Sending up there, Ostrom forced to fall away, they don't really have much there versus the Vickers machine gun. They're suppressed, but managed to also cut off the fuel there from Knockers, aggressively and decisively played there by HQMul with a third Ostrom squad out there, and a fourth rapidly following up there. Again, that rather tends to be sort of one of the advantages of Ostrom. You can just sort of hit the field with a lot of them. Going for second Vickers machine gun there, sort of trying to help control all the Ostrom infantry he's probably expecting to see, and certainly going for second Vickers is in that sense not a overall bad idea. Tag up here at the same time for HQMul, taking advantage of sort of his medium tier 1 sort of build there to quickly hit tier 1 using the power of T Ostrom, but also the power of hitting his opponent's fuel point. Vickers versus MD42, the Vickers moving in first, rather takes the beating there from the MD42. We'll need support here. HQMul keeping up pressure quite aggressively so far. Second Vickers arriving, desperately finding its control of the east as well there, where HQMul's Ostrom is sort of just rushing ahead. We just got the MD42 remaining here, not moving out of the spot. Take up there for Knockers. Probably seeing some sappers, maybe a sniper. MD42 actually shifting out. They're probably trying to avoid sort of just being countered by being flanked here, so shifting the position, and thus, you know, making sure that Knockers won't quite know where it is until he sets it off again. There you go. Ostrom being pushed back here, but section time from both sides. Catching them in a bit of a pincer there. There you go, Ostrom straight into the Vickers, quickly taking losses. Second Vickers moving up again. Nothing here from the platoon command post. We do have the tech up here, but nothing yet from there for HQMul. And Ostrom then being pushed back. There we go, Saps on the way, more Pioneers on the way for HQMul. And the 72nd Infanterie Division. Sappers almost done, almost done.
The squad of Pioneers has arrived.
Setting up. There we go, with 2 minutes there versus the machine gun. The MD42 will have to fall back there. At the same time, they're making progress in the eastern side of the map. So Knockers there slightly turning things around HQMul. Flying there for Pioneers. And we've got here the Light to Mechanized Company going up there for HQMul. Getting some support from a nearby Panther division. More sappers on the way there for Knockers. No sign of doctrine yet for him. Question will be what he will be going for. There we go, like to make a nice company. 222s probably. Maybe some Panther Grenadier or a Pat 40. Really pushing ahead there, though he hasn't grabbed the victory point there at all. We'd figure he'd do that, but for some reason he seems to haven't quite factored in there on Knocker's plans. Still nothing from the like to make a nice company, or some just sort of pushing back at Knocker's forces. Vickers sitting up to cover here, and Vickers covering the centre. Not too bad defence. And we got a 250.5 down the way for HQMul, but interesting to note there, it's not looking like he's going for the Flampanzer wagon, otherwise he wouldn't have upgraded both Pioneer squads to the flamethrowers. So what could he be planning then? In fact, he seems to be setting up the Pioneers here, but also Ostrom. Could he be planning some battle taxi manoeuvres? Ostrom holding by the Vickers. In the west there, section they're falling against the Ostrom, but they are taking quite a few losses there as well. Might have to pull back there for reinforcements. Not looking to, and there we go, 250.5 to arriving. Pioneers rushing towards it. Looks like he's going to form a bit of an assault group there. Battle taxi tactics are a bit tricky to pull off, but you can do it. They tend to work well, though I will generally always recommend using Panzer Grenadier or Stormtroopers, since they tend to, with assault rifles, be able to do a nice good amount of damage up close as soon as they pop out. Pioneers with flamethrowers can also work, but generally mixing up with something else, otherwise it's going to come down to sort of really hitting the opponent before he's quite ready for it, but also at the right distance. Moving in there, section caught. Quick kill there. And there, goal recent running, popping out. In this case, he probably better off just trying to hunt him down with a half track, keeping the Pioneers still. I think he got a wipe there on one of the section's members, leaving only one poor soldier escape. Vickers setting up the Ostrom out in the open. Sappers moving in from the other side. 250 half track moving again, continuing with the battle taxi tactics. Aggressively there, HQMul rolls ahead. Rare to see that kind of tactical movement, actually. And certainly not anyone else but me being the one that uses them. 222 on the way there for HQMul, pops out a half track. Of course, in that sense, that's also why you're doing also at least always having a Pioneer, you know, inside your half track when you're conducting these kind of tactics, just to have something able to repair it.
The sector has been cut off. Yeah?
For example, hitting a mine or getting hit with anti-tank grenades or something similar, which is very likely to happen. Lots of mines here from Knockers, so trying to stabilise the western side here. Sniper moving up. Half track repaired there, the 4 Pioneers, or 8 Pioneers working hard at it, Ostrom moving ahead. And we got the 222. Like the Panther Speedwagon arriving, Ostrom getting sniped there. And back in the half track. Loose, step on it, Jürgen. He must get to the bit where he beats the enemy. Retreat for the Vickers in this case, though. Knockers know what's going on in retreat. Still tries to hit some damage there. In this case, what he probably should try and do is actually, you know, block the retreat path of the Vickers there with the half track a bit. Give the units inside a bit more chance to do some damage, but well, Sniper they're fighting over, needs to be careful. We got the 2 trying to get behind the Sniper on the retreat path. In which case, good job there by HQMul. And there we go. Sadly, the snipers don't, or the mines don't quite cover the Sniper in that way or direction. Another 2-2 has arrived here for HQMul, and there we go. Sniper dead. We also got Knockers upgrading his men with some light machine guns, increasing his firepower there notably. And a tank until they took deal with the sudden increase of light vehicles from HQMul. Mines up here. Knockers are also got sort of main map control, but he's losing men and he's losing ground though to HQMul, who's attacking forwards once more with support from the 2nd Panzer Division. Another assault, he hits the mine, but again Pioneers ready to strike. A bit slow, but still, any damage can swiftly be fixed. Large engagement here. MD42, they're holding down both sections with the Bren guns. Pretty much annoying Knockers, any usage out of those chaps. Right here, now the German assault was repulsed by Vickers. Nicely positioned, but we've got the 2-2s moving in. Ready to put that nuisance out. There you go, firing away. Windows crumbling, doors collapsing as the 222s and altered cannons just blast away with heavy fire. The Vickers crew taking catastrophic damage and catastrophic losses to the lighter Panther speed wagons. And there you go, Vickers annihilated.
Not anymore.
Punishing him for leaving his machine guns out like that. Well done there by HQMul. Good use of his motorized and mechanized assets so far. Now the mine goes off, but you know, they're only Osthuppen, they are replaceable. Good rushing straight against the Vickers there. Again, popping out there. After taking some nasty hits there, need to pull back. All the 6 well, the 2 somehow need to deal with it, but can't. It's there. Also, we got Piet out now here to help deal with that because there we go. Lost to 251, lost to 222. Down to just 1 222. Their knockers quickly turning things around again, dealing some serious damage here to HQMul. That's going to hurt there, and also remove some well, swift elements and prevent him from moving so fast and recapturing a lot of territory. That's been unfortunate for HQMul. In particular, if knockers were then to consider, you know, going for attack support, get out some field cover engineers and perhaps try and recover at least the half tank and some resources from that.
They're trying to take it.
That could actually give him a bit of a fuel and manpower boost. Pioneers taking losses there, quickly being decimated. Almost wiped, in fact it could still happen. And no, gets away with the sliver of health, tiny sliver of health. HQMul though, keeping up pressure in the meanwhile, attacking. And we've got here already company command post up for knockers. Cromwell looks likely here down the road. As for HQMul, he's going straight for tier 4. That's pretty confident here from HQMul. Except he doesn't have the fuel to really take advantage of it. He's rather undercuts a bit, to be honest. 6-pounder gun Vickers making a move for the centre. Ostrom capturing the east here alongside an MD-42 covering up at least one of the flanks. Another Vickers there for knockers.
Machine gun crew awaiting orders.
Nothing happening here in HQMul space. Looking for the victory point. Keeps holding by the MD-42. Well, that's actually a Vickers, never mind. It's actually a Vickers. Thought it was an MD-42, really. And there we go, Ren section. As those dirty Huns running very close there to the Cromwell. Just needs a bit of manpower. He could also go for the center, but I think Cromwell's more likely, at least initially. Can also handle armor, whereas the center can't. It's not like the price difference is that huge between the two. Biggest then locked on with the Bren guns. We got Oswald Squad A holding out for the time being. Knockers is not getting a Cromwell. HQMul is not getting that heavy Panther caught. There go Cromwell away there for Knockers, for King and Country. In the centre there, Vickers being cut down by an MD-42 veteran 2-2. While the second remaining 2-2 here tries to stall down Knockers' advance in the east. HQMul though has made good progress in the west, and centreward's also looking rather nice there for him. It's Knockers there needs to somehow concentrate and sort of throw back his opponent pretty quickly, otherwise this could very rapidly turn ugly for him. So we'll of course have to see how he does that. Attempt at trenches there, foiled by the Wehrmacht.
Cromwell gun tank ready for action.
There we go, Cromwell out, Cromwell out. Immediately adding a commander, good work there. Also noting here, HQMul's actually got quite a bit of munitions floating about. Could consider some mines, S-mines, telemines would work quite well there for him. Will Knockers trying to capture the lost fuel point? Will he try to strike elsewhere and bleed out HQMul?
Our capture point.
There we go.
They're trying to take it.
First engagement for the tank. Strikes into those Jerrys, leaving them screaming and dying. As infantry follows up support here. Still no sign of doctrine though for Knockers. No indications. No leanings. Saboting up there with the Sten guns and Piets. No Bren guns though. Cromwell here charging in to deal with the remaining units around the fuel point. We've got another unit attacking from the south. Vickers moving up. And a bit of shooting up here. Ostrom versus the sappers. Need some support there, but they are already moving in to try and perhaps up here around the fuel point. Still no doctrine from Knockers. And we actually got here support, of course. It goes for all 4 tiers, and then doesn't use the 4th tier, but uses the 3rd tier. That is certainly a bit of a strange one. But at least, indicates that HQMul realise he probably had a bit of a mistake. Then just goes for what can actually get out quickly. Then, and they deal with the Cromwell using that, which is probably the more sensible move, rather than trying to play straight for a Panther, which would result in Knockers pressing more with his tanks and perhaps getting out more. Would have required several pack 40s then. And what is this? We've got a mortar emplacement up. Vickers in the trench. No sign of a Buffers or an AEC though. Damage engine there, 2-2 flying slightly away there, the Cromwell. Interesting position by for a mortar there, to be honest. Not entirely sure what Knockers is thinking with that. What he's hoping to cover. What he's hoping to destroy. Bit more shooting about. Bit more killing.
We're ready for orders.
Goes to moving it and getting hammered there by several sorts of fire. Sappers need to get away though, they're about to get wiped, Careful Knockers, careful. Panther fall round there for HQMul slowly. Panther come wagen 4. Bit of push back into the west here for Knockers. Section moving hit there. With a single Bren. And the Vickers is firing back. Panther almost done. And what are those pioneers working on? They're laying down mines here. To catch up the Cromwell. Not bad, not bad. Knockers probably can soon go for another Cromwell. He could go for Centaur. Of course, could wait a bit longer. And then go for Firefly. So while there was a bit of a lot of harassment here, I mean, his centers barely defend there. Most of his resources and effort seems to be going in towards the east there, creating a larger position, but the question is really a bit, why right there?
Oh, sorry. That one scratched the paint.
14 kills, 1 for the Cromwell. Going on the hunt for Krauts and Panzers. And there you go, Panther moving in with infantry support, Vickers or MD42 coming up there. There we go, Panther getting a good penetrating here on the Cromwell, forcing Knockers to have to pull back his tanks for the time being as the Panther blitzes forward, supported by the 222 and other things. Almost got the Vickers, also moving in, they're kind of coming under fire from the mortar emplacement.
Infantry squad attacking us. Let's move.
Panther continues. Goes straight for the Cromwell, might be able to lure it into all the Piets here, for example, do some damage. Or does HQMul realise there might be better and pull back? Altogether, dodge choice there for Knockers. Finally, almost 20 minutes into the game, we are seeing tactical support. Actually, finally went for it. But how will he use it? A few kills. Pioneers flanking in. No assault here for the Centaurs. Still out in the open with no cover. Easy target for the Bren gunners. While the fighting just continues, the Panther going straight for the mortar placement. No meet your response. Biggest thing up to within use flanking in. 6 Pioneer gun. Aim placement is dead. Cromwell, there you go. Repaired, fixed up. And the Panther Fox moves ahead. Oh. Down to half health there, down to half health, but will escape here. And Knockers will then not be able to at least get it for the time being. Also block the path there. Down here, section continues to advance. Panther moving in support. 84 also dealing here with Knockers advancing troops. I do believe it is time here for the mid-game analysis. In terms of damage, Knockers is a hit. In terms of kills, Knockers is a hit, but that's all because HQMul has been relying on infantry. Of course, map control wise, things are a bit more to the advantage of HQMul. We've been able to, I think, use his Ostrom quite well. Army value wise, bit back and forth there, but at the moment, HQMul does possess a bit of a army value lead. Resource float wise, seems like here for the time being, Knockers is the one flowing the most, though. HQMul is definitely doing his best to sort of catch up there. And in terms of point total, again, we can see that HQMul is rather been the sort of dominant player for some time compared to Knockers, who had a period but wasn't quite able to sort of leverage it back, and even while he was making a comeback, he's still not quite able to get it there over HQMul. So he's got a bit there to go with yet. And while he's certainly getting some damage in, though, HQMul is so far trading it quite efficiently for more territory, and overall that way he might have some advantages down the road. So, what could Knockers do to sort of break the stalemate? I mean, Party needs to use his tank a bit more aggressively, so try and flank, hit HQMul from behind, for example, using the tank and maybe some other units, and then try and wipe them on retreat. And I just push back the front. He should be careful about just making head-on assaults. But then again, at the moment, HQMul's got only Panther faster than the Panther 4 to hold the Cromwell. So a few good assaults, they could do some damage. You should probably also consider actually another Cromwell. More armor, more tanks, more sort of brute force with which to sort of break HQMul. And then perhaps supported with a Centaur, perhaps a Firefly as the third armoured unit. That could work out pretty well. It does require that Knocker sort of hones in on it quickly enough and sort of goes there. You should also think use some of his doctrinal abilities here. Field recovery to help sort of recover some of the vehicles that are wrecked here and there. Could give him more resources. Always a plus. And you know, perhaps a command vehicle, get out an armoured car, upgrade it, and then use that to, for example, support infantry and armour, as it gives them some nice combat boosts, to be honest, but seems like most people didn't use it for that. Not so much else there, but he really sort of turned things around here. For HQMul, you know, another Panther 4 to support the Panther 4 would be a pretty good idea. Some Panther going to need to work with them as well would, I think, be a very strong idea there for HQMul. Otherwise, there's not so much else to really say about him, just to keep up the pressure, but actually also consider attacking the base from time to time, and force Knockers to have to focus on that as well. So let's return to the fight and see what happens next.
We have 300 points remaining.
Two going straight for the enemy base, and there we go, another column on the way for Knockers.
Enemy trick, isn't it?
2 there needs to be careful. Getting some kills though, and we've got here air resupply operation. Fancy that. Something blew up.
Churchill crocodile flamethrower tank has been destroyed.
A crocodile? I don't know what's supposed that to be. I'm guessing it's some kind of bug. I've heard it before, where for like no reason they all of a sudden say a crocodile has died, despite there being no crocodiles on the field, or anyone even capable of getting them. Second Cromwell almost done there for King and Country. And another Panther 4 on the way there for HQMul, so both sides going for medium armour. Which we are there. And there we go, inside the armor-piercing rounds, unleashing death against the advanced British infantry. Panther 4 flanked in. 2-2's arriving, Panther 4 almost done.
are securing
There we
our
go,
territory.
Veteran 2 for the Cromwell, increasing rate of fire and targeting between the turret rotation. That's going to make things a bit more pleasant as well there. So HQMul, unit wiped though, lost a section, he's down to one section in fact, not good. Need to get those Cromwells doing something. Almost got them in, here we go, MG42 wiped, Veterans he lost. Austrian Pioneers moving ahead, Panther 4, sneak about, 6 pounder gun trying to support here. Cromwell needs to fall back, Vickers laying down a murderous line of fire against the advancing German infantry. Cromwell, Panther 4 finding out their Pioneers awfully close, Cutlass being right there. If the Vickers go to fire, but no, we got artillery in there. Railway artillery support, need to pull back the Cromwell, need to pull it back. Knockers, quickly. Oh dear, too late, too late. Direct hit on the Vickers, no
We've
survivors.
lost an anti-tank gun.
No chance of surviving. Still, it could always just grab the MG42 as compensation. Continued harassment in the west. No response for the MG there hiding. Bit of shooter there. I managed to capture it. Bit of wasted opportunity, I think, there for knockers. Was a bit low on troops overall. Needs to do something about that before it is too late.
The enemy are attacking one of our forward positions.
Meanwhile, Cromwell's being fixed up. Curious position here, which rather seems a bit abandoned now. Trench and an advanced or forward assembly. But nothing's really happening there anymore.
Ready for anything.
Ooh, almost got a wipe. Probably could get a wipe. Knockers once more pushing back HQMul. And we got a munitions cache up there for Knockers. An interesting decision. Not a fuel cache, I would have expected that, but a munitions cache.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
And he's going for the center. AA tank. Shoot up there. 2-2 versus Cromwell here. Oh, bad news for the 2-2-2. Oh, Cromwell misses though. Cromwell misses. Good news for the 2-2-2. Good news. And there we go. Knocked out. Abandoned.
Our forward position is being attacked.
Panther force advancing. 6 pounder gun needs to chat about there. Cromwell needs to cover up. Center almost done for Knockers. Bit of shootout here. Can use the
Centaur
forward
and
to just keep
capture point is
reinforcing.
being overrun.
But probably necessary.
Supply is looking a bit squiffy.
Zapper 6 pounder gun hitting the Panther force a bit there. Also being bombarded by the Cromwells. Bit too close to the Austrians. Panther fast 1 damage engine, but could easily wipe that. No, falls to deal with the other Austrian advancing, allowing the first squad to get away with a small number of men and even smaller amounts of health. There you go, Centaur arrives with its twin potent guns, tearing into the German infantry. Straight into the enemy's line of fire. The Panther for opening up. Almost for 22. Another damaged engine on the tanks. All three, in fact, with that issue at the moment. Bit of a bad situation there for Knockers. Panzer's pulling back, but it is veteran 2 now. Schürzen are available. Troops holded here by the Vickers machine gun, or it's an MG42, hard to say. Quite a few machine guns in the field now, of different origins. Nothing further going on in Knocker's base at the moment. Though we do have the hammer specialization on the way there for Knockers. HQMul has now built up the heavy Panzer Corps.
Well done. We have forced
And then
the
also
enemy
Panther
down
4.
to
Might of course now go for the Panther, go for something a bit heavier, a bit more punchy there versus all those bits. And their tanks, and we got here an artillery barrage going in there, coordinated fire called in on the position. Both 25-pounder guns unleashing, firing away. Sending that poor cop's bit flopping away. HQMul strikes swiftly. The greased lightning and the German infantry that tries anything silly. And in this case, immediately gets Panzerfaust. Centaur would have been nice to support it.
Position is under attack.
And it is on the way, but will be a bit late. They will be a bit late. Meanwhile, Panther 4 continuing in here. West side, we got Vickers there, being flanked by another Vickers. Panther 4 going in after it, needs more armoured support, But the other tanks far away. Damaged engine cutting down the infantry. A lot of pressure, a lot of damage. In the west here, Vickers, they finally pushed away, though did get the first Vickers. Nasty development there for Knockers. So not making things any easier for him. More sappers on the way to help speed up all those tanks he's got repaired. And we also got the 2-2 there, which is now secured actually. Meaning Knockers has got quite the armoured pool there. Vehicles.
An engineer unit is ready for action.
Panther 4 halfway to Veterancy 3. Bad news for Knockers if he hits that. Almost got that forward assembly.
The enemy are attacking one of our forward positions.
Just one more hit. HQMul flanking in. Oh, saves it. Oh, close. But makes a mistake, I think, there with the 6-pounder gun, allowing here HQMul to attack it and swiftly deal with it, allowing him to grab it himself and use it against the Knockers. And there we go. Artillery cover called in here to break up HQMul's concentration on the eastern side of the map. Smoke's going down there on the armour. Troops getting pinned. Tanks getting slightly stunned there. At least the gunner's getting injured. My God, Jürgen, what had you happened to you? I think I sprained my elbow loading the gun. I fear I will not be able to fire for several seconds. Oh dear.
We have lost an MG team.
Machine gun there cleared up by artillery cover. Nasty. It's right there once more. Knockers is pushing HQMul back to his own territory. And he can soon, I guess, go play for the Comet. More anti-tank guns here for Knockers. HQMul just got a lot of infantry support units. Getting a Panther. Panther come fighting through there on the way. And caught here by the Centaur, which is actually the predecessors to the HQMul, but never actually saw any action. Fun fact there. He also had some Centaurs with howitzers mounted on them for infantry support. They don't think there's so much usage of any production. Panther almost done there for HQMul. Almost. Also been caught there by the HQMul. HQMul up here with little support. In fact, he's stringing out his armour and vehicles quite thinly at the moment. He's barely got any infantry support. He's not really using it in that way. Bit of dangerous development. Knox going here. Bit of dangerous development. There you go. Getting caught over here by the 6-pounder gun. And the Ostomy gets Pantherfaust. That Centaur fear is going to be gone. There we go. crew is buggered. No chance of survival. That could, I think, been handled a bit better there by Knockers, but now we have the Panther out there for HQMul. Panzerkampfwagen 5 gefechtsbereit, rolling ahead. For Deutschland down south there, we got the Cromwells moving about still there. We'll probably need a Firefly, of course, go for the Commodores, he'll do with the Panther. The Panther forward support.
Enemy causing trouble.
Quick hit and run, almost veteran defeat on both Cromwells. Jolly good, up north, bit of a shooter there. Machine gun inside a small shed. Get the pushed out. But so far no inclination from Knockers towards doing that. No knocking on his door and kicking it in.
The enemy has driven a wedge in our lines.
Oh dear, Sabbath caught here between two nasty tanks and then goes sent running. Very much in running. Cromwell sending out, Vickers there, having dealt with the sappers more or less. And needs more support. And there we go. Panther moving in, coming off for the Cromwell from this. 6-pounder gun opening up as well. Down to less than half field. Cromwell might active a chance of knocking it out there. Particularly with emergency war speed, he could try and flank past. But no, pulled back, keep it on the anti-tank gun. It looks like the anti-tank is more than enough obstacle there for Knockers. In fact, oh, got a bit of a traffic jam. Needs to get out of there quickly. Got the Pack 40 crew, and the Chidge has been lost there.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Bit further fighting here in the west, but quickly will come there. Knockers is forced to retreat. And we got another munitions cache here for Knockers. Looks like he's planning to rely quite a bit here on artillery cover to turn things around again. Though he is also now moments away from getting the Comet. And a Comet with two Cromwells should be able to do good damage at HQMul and his Panther and Panther combo. If properly utilised, it is. A good flank, for example, with the Cromwells using the wall speed, for example, could quickly overcome the Panther and knock it out. For example, then the Comet helping with some of the more specific targets, like the 6-pounder gun using its grenades and later on its white phosphorus.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Territory being grabbed again. 6-pounder gun waiting about. Comet on the way. Ever slowly. Is HQMul setting up for another? No, he's actually full pop cap there.
Right, another job done well by Sappers.
A capture point is being overrun.
Almost. Bunkers up here to hold the territory, not bad. There we go, attacking head on. Spearheading with the veteran fleet. Cromwell needs to be careful though. Would be a shame to lose that. I mean, he's done a lot of damage there. 38 kills. Oh, the other one's almost veteran fleet as well. There we go, veteran fleet. Also from there, Panther firing both at the same time until we cover the raining down. Smoke screen's called down there, need to clear up the machine gun. Comet is ready, going off with the anti-tank gun, shooting. Almost got a wiped. Machine gun there, and a bit of top pack 40. Oh, anti-tank being hunted down there. In fact, he's got two 6-pounder guns now available to him. Comet moving about here as well.
Enemy got one of our
Probably should have
squads.
stopped moving there when dealing with that Vickers, but set moves just ahead there into the anti-tank guns. Trying to deal with them with the damaged engine, already some damage there. I think that's a bit of a poor decision there by Knockers. Yeah, he still does it. Oh dear, lost one Cromwell there, veteran fleet. That's just a waste.
The enemy
They're
destroyed
not
the vehicle.
supporting them with the Comet. They're using that to try and clear out a bunker here.
Frontier building has been lost.
There we go, bunker is burning. Away. And a Bren gun drop there, also making a run for it. Looks like Knockers isn't paying attention, and HQMul benefits from it, grows only stronger. Good lord, where did he get that Bren gun from? I think we dropped it. Holy moly. He did that with a bloody gammon bomb. Oh, not very often you see that one in usage, actually. I don't think HQMul expected that. I certainly wouldn't expected it. I actually thought there was something wrong with the game. Why is that timer taking so long there? Don't tell me the game is bugging out and then boom, oh, gammon bomb. Nog's getting up more sections. Another Panther on the way there for HQMul. He's really building up the arm advantage here versus Noctis and the Commonwealth.
The adversary has slipped to 100 points. Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Should operate those two tanks together for maximum power there, and maximum chance just wiping out some HQMul's units. So they're separate, in this case also an easier target with the German armour. Panther fault now eventually engaging here the Cromwell tank.
Threatening a capture point.
Blitzing away though, less than half health. Got the Common moving in from the north.
Our capture point.
Panther moving in to deal with that. Could be flanking the Comet there with the Panther fort. Sneak in through here, that could actually be quite effective.
Is down to 75 points.
But none of that there from HQMul. Just jumps them up from the front. Chrome moving up with a half health right in front of it. Oh dear, careful Knockers, careful. Vic is there for wiping the entire Safa section.
Engineers have been killed.
Path of corpses and blood.
We are losing a sector.
Showing where they failed. And he's quick to split up his own tanks again. .45. We're about to lose there to the 6-pounder guns and the Panzers. There we go. Cromwell down. Second Cromwell lost here for Knockers.
Tank's been lost.
Second Panther. Fit for the fight. Panther there moving up. Right behind the 6-pounder gun, going straight for the Common there. Double Panthers. Panther Vaults moving up. 6-pounder gun joining in. This is very much looking like GG there for Knox. We've got Tiller going down there on the 6-pounder gun. Panther they're blocking the retreat path there of the... oh, never mind, not enough. Comet. He managed to get past it all. 6-pounder gun crew annihilated. Comet just continues to try and blitz away, but right in front of all the Ostrom with a Panther Faust. Panther 4. Panther's moving in. Hot on its heels. Panther Faust failed to penetrate.
We've only got 50 points left.
Sliver of health left now for the Comet, and Veterans too, but not enough. Left to brew, and with that, Knocker surrenders. Game over there. Victory for HQMul. Somewhat interesting Ostrom strategy. The battle taxi attempt certainly is interesting, but wasn't quite fully, I think, well timed at times. I think, you generally need at least one Panzer gun in the squad to make it work well. Again, Stormtroopers, their assault rifles tend to work the best when you sort of pop them out there of a half track, sort of make it work even if they do retreat. But otherwise, a nice attempt there. Some more mines from HQMul, though, could have been helpful. But overall, I think you sort of played nicely, reacted nicely. Just tried to play for a Panther core. Realised when it didn't work, he just went for the Suprema core, then doubled down there some Panthers, then went for the Panthers. I think that was overall a stronger move there for HQMul. He would have benefited from some Panther gunners down the road, but go figure. Knockers still alright, but he should, I think, chosen a doctrine soon and made better usage of it. He basically only went this for the artillery cover. Overall, what described as a weak usage of the doctrine. He could have benefited from some armoured cars or buffals, but again, didn't quite go there. Weapon racks were nice, but didn't come enough in, I think, to really make full usage of it. So, there you go. But I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gave you ideas for your own matches. If it did, why not subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If not, send a new player and I'll provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers, thank you for watching, and hope to see you all another time. Bye.